He didn't say for sure it's his last game. He was asked if he'll be thinking about that, and he said for sure he'll be thinking about it. Why did all of that make you laugh so much, RC?
Why he got to try to always be so dang mysterious? You know what I'm saying? Like, just say what you mean, right? If they ask you, hey, could this be your last game? You know what? It could be my last game. Leave it at that. But then it's like, I think about it, but there's nothing but gratitude. He's basically saying goodbye without saying goodbye, but leaving it open that I've already said goodbye, so now I don't have to say goodbye when I leave, and then if I come back, I actually never really said goodbye, so you really don't know what the hell is going on. Sometimes when you ask a guy a question, like you just want to answer. Now here's the other thing. Aaron Rodgers could do what the hell he wants, right? He can answer the question any way that he wants to. Yeah. But I think when you do this, now there's another conversation that has to go on in the locker room, and now I have to go ask Randall Cobb. Randall, Aaron said that you just never know what's going to happen, and if it doesn't happen, he's going to have beautiful memories. What are the beautiful memories you have of Aaron Rodgers? So now Randall Cobb got to wax poetic for 20 minutes about memories he shared with Aaron Rodgers when he might get memories with Aaron Rodgers next year. Yeah. It's about playing this game against the Detroit Lions. He could have said that. You know what? Maybe I will be thinking about it, but it's about winning this game and making sure that this game is not about my last game in Lambeau forever, but it's not the last game of the season. Right. But no, guess what we're doing on Get Up? We're making ratings for Greeny because Greeny wants to talk about this anyway.
Why did it make you laugh?
Well, first of all, I think the RC should be like a media coach for all these guys. Here's how you prevent reporters from having to ask your teammates these questions over and over and over again. I feel like, great, the Packers are doing well again. It's not necessarily because of Aaron, but you know what? We're going to make it all about Aaron because it's always all about Aaron because we can't just have a good thing happening without it circling back. It's like a toxic ex. Like, oh, they've changed. Look at this. This team's getting better. Nope, they're still the same person. He can't help himself. He has the spotlight. He already gets to say, look, I told you so. I told you that we were going to get back in it. And now while I have you, what if I retire? Let's think about that for a minute. Like, I'm so over it.
That's the last 3 off seasons we've talked about this.
Well, it's exhausting.
I don't know if it's something in the water in Green Bay, but it feels like Brett Favre did this too. Right? We had this conversation about him every single year.
We all have
and
mentors.
He wound up playing in 2 other places before he was all done. Here's the thing, Ninko. I can't really criticize Rodgers for saying a lot instead of saying a little because I am the master of using 1,000 words where 10 might have sufficed. So it's probably not reasonable for me to criticize him. How about the game, by the way?
The game, yeah. That's a big deal.
Can we put the picks up on the screen?
Guess why we're not talking about it?
It's a big deal.
He managed to make us not even talk about the biggest game. I'm the only one picking the Lions on this thing. Go ahead, Ninko.
I mean, listen, I should go into my Aaron Rodgers. Well, Mike Greenberg, I just want to tell you everything about this game. It's a beautiful mystery. We're going to go out there and we're going to play one play at a time. I'm just going to stay in my monotone voice and talk about drinking tea. And if I can do that, then I'll be gracious and grateful for every moment that I have. He needs to go into some type of therapy sessions as far as getting stuff out of it. He's just like Zen-like every time he speaks. But again, what RC is saying, basically, he could easily just X that thing, just say, you know what, I don't care about, I just want to focus on the Lions because that's everything right now.
Can I ask a serious question?
Yes.
The Lions are 7-2 in their last 9 games. One of those losses was a last-second field goal by Buffalo. The other one was the one bad game they've played basically in 2.5 months against Carolina. They have been better than the Packers basically for the last 2 months, and it's not even close. Why is everyone so sure Green Bay wins this game?
I'm not sure. I can be absolutely honest with you. I was asked to pick a team to win, so I picked one.
Fair enough. But everyone has taken
when you look at what the Detroit Lions have done, though that type of winning streak or that type of winning stretch is the only reason we're speaking of them in this way. And this was the team that started the season off terribly. We've watched Dan Campbell continue to have this team fight. And last year it was always this team's fights, but they'll find a way to lose. Where now they're playing so well offensively. Jared Goff is protecting the football. They found ways to create turnovers defensively with Aaron Glenn taking over in the defensive backfield. And this team finds himself a game away from having an opportunity to play in the playoffs. The thing I believe that all of us, and no matter how we try to talk ourselves out of it, it's still Aaron Rodgers.
At home.
No matter how we talk about ourselves out, it's still Lambeau Field. It's still a defense that's created 12 turnovers in 4 games. It's a coach in Matt LaFleur that has figured out that the run game is more important than the pass game. And if we lead with Aaron Jones, now we can find ways to create big plays in play action with Aaron Rodgers. They seem to understand now what is their easiest path or the straight line path to winning. And if you're going to look at the last game of the season, Jared Goff, who's playing extremely well against Aaron Rodgers, the Detroit Lions, who are playing extremely well against the Green Bay Packers, I believe it is that history and resume that makes you lean toward Green Bay in a tough game.
I think the biggest thing that we're overlooking right now with the Lions is in the last 9 games, they have 119 pressures on the quarterback.
Yeah.
That's second in the NFL.
Look,
So Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be hitting pressured a lot in this game.
2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. I've been the only person to pick the Lions on our set.
I changed my pick.
Boy, are you going to hit.
I'm going to the Lions.
You're going to the Lions? You're jumping on board with
going
it.
Lions.
Change the helmet.
I have written the
He used a lot of words.
Yes.
He used a lot of words when 10 would suffice.
Let's do
I've put on paper 4 different times this year that the season's over for Green Bay. I am switching my pick. I'm going Lions. I'm going Dan Campbell. I'm going WrestleMania, man.
All right. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.